Hey guys, what's going on? Andy Patnou here at AndyPatnouGolf. Just going to do a quick little analysis for you guys, talking about maybe how to make a little bit more consistent contact and making sure that you're not hitting big pushes or big draws. Right? This is more kind of tailored for a little better player, right? Not necessarily meant for the person that kind of sits there and hits across the golf ball and hits big slices. But maybe this is for the big person that hits too many hooks, too many pushes, and just overall has inconsistent contacts going through the golf ball. So I have two golfers here. On the left here, Rory McIlroy on the left. And then we have my boy Pin here from Thailand on the right. All right, both golfers that hit some big draws and some big pushes. But Roy is playing pretty well as of late, so let's just say he's hitting it okay and pretty straight. All right, but let's see some tendencies here in terms of somewhat better players do that still even hit some big pushes and big draws, and what some players do from a poorer standpoint that maybe have uncontrollable big pushes and big draws and sometimes gets a little lost. All right, so make a backswing here. I want you guys noticing here I drew a line right at the start of his down backswing here, right on his head, and I drew a dot at the top of his spine, not even the top of his spine, let's say the center of his shoulders, relatively speaking wise, kind of at the base of the neck, let's just say kind of where that little bump in your neck would be. All right, and I did the same thing here for my man Pin, and it's not precise because this is just this 2D video, I get it, right? But let's just kind of look at these little lines and how they affect the golf swing, or a little dot and a little line. So again, Roy makes a backswing. You know, see his head lower a little bit, which is fine. It's very common to see that because he's increasing his knee flex, right? So guys, the more you increase your knee flex, usually your upper body and head are going to drop. All right, just do that standing real quick. Flex your knees. I very seldom think that your head's not going to drop, along with also your sternum. All right, but for the most part, his head hasn't gone away from that line. If anything, it's actually gone a little bit into it. All right, nothing wrong with that. Let's look at my man Pin here on the right as he makes his backswing. Doing his drill now. All right, he actually has his head stay on that wall. Very similar to kind of Roy. If anything, he actually did a little better job because his head hasn't moved into that line. All right, but sometimes Pin gets a little bit of trouble where he starts actually having his head not move in that direction, and he sometimes struggles actually having his head move away from that wall. And again, that center part of his rotation, we'll just kind of put that right around there. It's kind of arbitrarily, it doesn't have to be perfect. And it'd be easier if I had this in a 3D system. All right, so let's watch his backswing now. All right, so that's where it is at the backswing. Say the top of backswing is right around there. Change of direction. Okay, there it is there. Starts coming back down. Another big change of direction. Okay, so you can kind of see he has three different lines there. Pretty blatant to see. This is a stationary track that I was kind of using, so obviously I know the camera's not moving. All right, and you can start seeing here with the shorter club, this is a pitching wedge, just how far from the inside that club head was actually traveling. Okay, so that's way too much path out to the right for a shorter club. All right, this is where the golf ball could sometimes start way over here. Maybe he rolls his arms a lot, starts there, or maybe it starts over here and never comes back, and then maybe sometimes the ball actually starts overhooking. Okay, so again, the drill I gave him was a pretty basic one, right, where I set up there and put a club against his head. You can sit there and make some practice swings at home and use a wall, or use a tree stump, a door frame, whatever you want to do, right? And this is a simple feeling for how to keep your head more against an object, let's just say that, without it moving too far off. Again, that's going to make the center of this shoulder here a lot more consistent. And when we kind of start seeing that, when your head stays against that wall, relatively speaking wise, and as we get back to impact, all right, I want you noticing that Rory's little red dot actually just moved down a little bit, right? But his head is still against that wall. And as you start going here with my man Pin, he does a better job there. Head's not moving around as much, not moving back. And he starts coming down. I think it's still going to move a little bit away from it. But again, that's pretty manageable. Okay, so guys like Ricky Fowler, sometimes even Rory McIlroy with the driver, the head's going to sometimes move away from that wall. But what this drill did for Penn is that it actually helped him eliminate that big push, start hitting some straighter shots because his path wasn't so far in to out, so he was controlling his curve. And then because he can actually sit there and turn his body better and use his right arm better, he was controlling his trajectory and overall spin a heck of a lot better. Okay, guys? So that's a simple little tip there. Use a wall or a door frame and start trying to make some turns where you feel like you're extending your spine in your backswing. Keep your head against that door frame. Coming back down, keeping your head against that door frame or wall. Turning and extending your spine and not allowing that head to come off that wall until, there's a little bit longer there. But if you watch Rory here on the left, his head doesn't come off that wall pretty much until he's almost in his full finish. Okay, guys? So simple little tip there to help your big pushes and big hooks. Simply put your head against the wall, work on tilting your spine and turning it, and see how that kind of affects your arms, and get back to me with that. Leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear back from you. Again, this isn't perfect little 3D things. I'm just drawing dots, kind of give a basic idea of less movement. All right, guys. Thank you. Andy Patnou here at AndyPatnouGolf. Go like my Facebook page. Subscribe to my YouTube. Like this, please. And look forward to hearing from you.